this isn't going to be the only thing weed whacking today. Look at this mess. Hi, I'm Jay and welcome back to Simple Woods Life. We've got a lot of weeds here in the driveway. According to the weather people, the storms are back on their way. So what we're gonna do, for as long as we've got time, is we're gonna break down these weeds. We're gonna just kind of clean up the driveway. I'm gonna be putting a garbage shed over there just to try and clear some space up in the garage and in the shop space. We're gonna be clearing out all this brush, and then we're going to be doing some weed control in gravel. And anyone who's got a gravel driveway knows the trials and tribulations that sort of befall you. I don't know, maybe it's just us, but our gravel is constantly filled with weeds, and I've tried a number of methods over the years to no avail. First things first, what we're going to have to do is clear out a lot of this mess, and then we're going to knock these weeds down. Ideally, we'd wait a couple of days for them to dry out, but we don't have that time. We're going to work with the Kombi system, and then I've got a treat for you guys in terms of how we're going to clean up the weeds in the gravel, and it's extremely effective. Let's get to it. Simple Woods Life. I'm going to introduce you to, unless you already know, the Stihl Kombi system. We got it years ago for leaf blowing. We had a property that just had a ridiculous amount of leaves, and it was super powerful but also a lot more compact than like a regular leaf blower. We've got a pretty heavy duty one, and essentially what it is you've got your motor and then you've got your business end, and this is where all the plugins come in. And there's a number of different plugins that we use. I'm going to be using 3 of them today. Oh, and if you do get something like this, I would recommend investing in vibration gloves, because this thing gets a little cuckoo. So the first accessory we're going to use is this brush hog. You can see that this blade is pretty crazy. Some kind of a throwing star. This is going to do the trick. Next, we got to do a little bit of whippersnipping, as my wife would say. But of course, I put this away needing to put cord in it, which bite me in the ass now. This is the line we use, 2.4 millimeter. It's a little bit stronger than the average line you get. I don't know if our weeds are, maybe I'm just tough on it, or if our weeds are insane here, but I upgraded to this last year, and it's been awesome. Changing the line on this is pretty straightforward. Oh, I've still got some in there. Actually, I've got quite a bit in there, so I'm just going to use that. It does show you a direction on the bottom, which way you're going to want to go. And I guess the biggest thing here is that it's a double line. And so you can see it feeds out of either side here. What we want to do when we put it in is make sure that we've got it going through each side. Sometimes you gotta give it a little hand. Go on in there, buddy. There you go. All right, pop this back on. Well, that was a lot easier now that I had a line in it. And there. When it does come time for weed whacking, you definitely want to have face mask protection on, with gravel anyway. That stuff can fly up, hit you in the eye, knock out a tooth. This is the aftermath of using the brush hog attachment, though I don't think that's what Stihl calls it. You want to get this arrow lined up with the tip there, or with the end. There we go. So yeah, I got knocked pretty good right in the grill there. So there's a reason you want to use that, especially with gravel. And what I was doing too, I'm sure there's a lot of landscapers that might be cringing, but I was basically running that right along the ground because I want to get this whacked. I want to get this whippersnip down as low as I possibly can. Next, we're going to be using the OG attachment that we got with the Kombi. I don't know if I can fit it in a frame here. This is the blower. As I said, we've used chemicals, we've used vinegar, we've used road salt, and we've used water softener salt. I don't like salting the earth. Salt the earth. I don't think that salting the earth is the proper way to go. I don't like using chemicals whatsoever, but even now, they're not that effective. They're certainly not the stuff that our fathers or grandfathers would have used. They seem to be pretty watered down, but even still, I don't want to do that. I'm trying to be a steward of the land, or at the very least, make as little of an impact as I can. And chemicals isn't going to cut it for me. Salt the earth. And vinegar didn't do anything at all, as far as I'm concerned. So, found another method, and it's slightly terrifying, but it's wickedly awesome. Wickedly awesome. Anyway, we get to be burninating the weeds. Okay, so salting the earth isn't a good idea. Maybe scorching the earth works a little bit better. As awful as it sounds, it's way more environmentally friendly. There's a lot of control with this thing. Just hooks up to a 20-pound propane tank, and it gives us the option to destroy these weeds that are left and get ourselves back to a gravel driveway. Now the fun starts. This is not a sustainable haircut. This has to go. I haven't had hair this long in what, 25 years? Maybe more? This is awful. And it's so hot. I don't like it. I'm gonna whippersnip it.